Excuse me if I can't remember everybody who's gotten it, but we got great memories on this stuff. I should have even reached out to Bruno, so if you could do something in 24 hours, you can get that. But we got some great memories coming through 24, so look out for it. But anyway, this ain't about me, this is about Vegas. Let's get you all in here. And I don't know, where do we go from here? I guess
let me
we're hold on. But yeah, we've already gotten the 80s, we've gotten the 90s, we've gotten into the 2000s. I want to get into what Vegas has been in the last 10, 12 years before we get out of here, because that's like what kind of changed the game. Whoa.
I'll tell a story that can segue into that. Okay. If I may. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a story in real quick. Actually talks about like early 2000s leading into today, when I kind of also the precursor for why I moved here. So, and it also has to do with actually Rory, funny enough. So, one of the crews in New York that I worked with in the 90s was the Underground Network. That's Don Welch, Barbara Tucker, and Louis Vega. I was their main promoter. We used to do Wednesday nights at the Sound Factory Bar in Manhattan and so forth. And the party went on for like a good 10 years. Real solid, like worldwide, world-renowned party. Residencies all sorts of Tunnel and different places. And we also traversed and started doing stuff at the Winter Music Conference for many years with that team, and then my own team partners and so on and so forth. So like I want to say probably 2006, 2008, either Jesse or Rory can confirm this. I remember there was a festival that you guys had did here, an outdoor festival. I think that was the Pure Festival. What year was that, Jesse?
Pure House Music Festival. It was 2012.
2012, exactly. 2012. So around that time, Miami. Actually, even before that, Miami had started becoming real like assholes with like their hotel rates and all kind of stuff, price gouging, and the clubs trying to be real high and rent out stuff and so forth. So like I don't know who came up with the idea, but the word was with the whole Pure thing, like you guys at that point was trying to create this festival thing that could possibly blow up and make Vegas another destination for a winter music conference type of deal. And like that was the news that got back to us. So like our team, Underground Network, and a bunch of people were, funny enough, trying to like assist and help and get that movement popping and so forth. You know what I mean? So like I had met these guys, but I knew all about them. You're just from New York and so forth. So cut back to the whole LA shit.
Hey, no cussing. Just kidding.
Yeah, there's a fire.
Yeah. Okay. See, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Get back to Rory again when he was talking about the whole Lady Gaga thing. At that point, when I was doing that party I mentioned earlier in LA at the Standard on Sunset, it was called the Sunday Soul Lounge West.
I remember that.
And we used to walk around town and promote and go to the different little clubs at the time. The popular clubs in LA at the time was LAX, Cinespace, and a few other spots. And Cinespace at the time had a little residency by this kid DJ Mom Jeans, who was also the guy. What's his name from that '70s show? Danny Masterson. Okay, so the little crowd that used to hang out there and the little crew that was promoted was this DJ Mike B. You had Steve Aoki, will.i.am, and all these little kids like running around in that season, this little circle we used to run in and stuff. But the good,
Hey man, I love you, man.
No, seriously, like they were kids. You know, they were kids, and I mean, I'm a little older. And I'm tall, so like they're little kids. You know what I mean? But the point I'm making is at that same party, it was a showcase of new artists too. And one of the nights that I've been privileged to go, Stephanie, Lady Gaga, was one of her promo showcases, just like what Roy was talking about at that time. And I had got her information and whatever, and I like seen the performance. I was like, well, this shit. You know, one thing about me, why I got into promoting and stuff, because I love music, I know music, and I know it's hot and so forth. So I was like, well, this chick's about to be new shit. You know what I'm saying? And I got whoever's information, whatever at that time, Went back to New York, and I was trying to like help like get her booked. I had this one French promoter hit me up like, yo, what acts you got? How can you get blah blah blah? So I can get so and so and so forth. I was like, yo, you need to get this girl Lady Gaga. She's about to be that new shit. Whatever. I was like, please, like I can get her. Think this chick listen? No. Literally 2 years later, this chick is the hottest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? So that's one side of it. But to get back to the whole Vegas side, all those little kids like will.i.am, Steve Aoki, and all these cats, all these kids, when I finally got to Vegas, I noticed like that little evolution of they had a party called Banana Split. Actually, who was it? Yeah, Adam Goldstein too. And all like eventually came over to Vegas and started playing. They started doing their little music, playing like little remixes and so forth, and then shit. You
sound like a woman. That's what women do.
Little
remixes. With your little car, little house.
Little kids.
No, but I'm saying from the standpoint of like I kind of see
those kids did pretty well for themselves.
The evolution from afar, you know, and like literally when I finally moved to these guys, are the biggest residents at Hakkasan and like all these clubs and so forth. So like that's like pretty much how I can see like from
they're riding out the Frankie's coattails.
Yeah, mid 2000s on.
I know, right?
Mid 2000s on to today.
I love it.
They're all riding on the coattails.
I love the way you explained it, but thank you, John.
From a non-DJ standpoint, though, the change has been when Frankie, I'm muted, but when Frankie used to DJ, and Hollywood and everybody else used to get dressed up to go to a nightclub.
Of course.
And it was something that you look forward to because you got to see your favorite DJ. Now, I went to a show to see Calvin Harris. And of course, I got dressed up to go. I went in there, and these people looked like they just came from the pool. The hair was pulled up in a ponytail. They were rude. It was hot. They're pushing. It was just, it's a different type of environment. And it's not as enjoyable as it used to be. It was actually, I was miserable. And I just was curious. I'm older, so I had no business being in a club. But I was just curious to see what Calvin Harris is doing. And back in the day when you used to actually make it a night and you looked your best to go out, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, it's just changed though. It's just everything's changed.
Vegas
it is changed.
Like
it is changed.
But even in downtown San Diego and stuff, I won't even touch the club down there now.
Oh, it's just I know
it's just trash.
Well, Adrian's been in the scene. He has literally since 1918, since 1980. Yeah, that's how long I've been in it.
I age well.
I've been in it.
Frankie, you're not supposed to.
I'm 200 and she knows me half my life.
I will say my age. I will say my age. I'm 50.
But she's been around since from the early 80s. But the thing about her is she's been into every kind of trend there was. She loves it all. She loved everything from hip hop, electro, pop music, house music, and she really is into it all. But what I was going to say to get back to the raves and stuff that you guys were saying, the promotions that happened here, in 1996, I had a nightclub in '92 called it was a house club, the first house club in the city. It was called 2655.
Okay.
I'm not muted, am I?
Your first call now.
Oh, okay. So it was called 2655, and Gino came to see me, and he was like, "This is cool. You're doing something before everybody. This really could blow up." And it was techno. I had Doc Martin. I had the Crystal Method there, and the place blew up. Nobody thought it was going to do anything. It was packed, you know. I had the kitchen was soul and funk. Rob was 92. Rob did soul and funk in the kitchen, literally a gigantic kitchen. And then in the big room was the house guys, Doc Martin, or he only came once, and then it was Crystal Method a couple of times. And then in the other room was just pop music. You know, it had a rug in it. It was called the living room. We had old furniture from the 70s,
Nice.
old TVs that was stacked on top of each other
that's
sideways
cool.
with static showing on. I put cellophane and wrote notes over the, anyway. So that was going on back then. But then this guy
That was
comes to me.
entertainment back then. No.
Well, this promoter comes over to me, and he's a big promoter in town with jazz and rock. His name is Mike Stevo Presents. He came here before the gigantic companies. And we did a few shows together. I turned him on to the whole urban scene, got him into the Gap Band. He had no idea about urban stuff. I turned him on to Run DMC. We did together with Gap Band. And I'm in his book, but he writes DJ Frank. You don't say Frank Adville. So, but anyway, he has a book out called Promoter.
Okay.
So he says to me, listen, these guys came to me from England and Germany. They want to do this rock or rave in the desert. I said, yeah, rave in the desert. He said, do I do the show or not? I said, yeah, do the show. And he was like, really? There's a market for this, I promise you.
Mhm.
So he comes to my club and he says, is this what the scene is? I said, it's exactly what the scene is. Anyway, the rave is called Desert Move. You had to get in.
I was at that.
You had to get in buses.
Yeah.
You had to get in buses from the Luxor. This is
Yeah.
in 1997. I
Yeah.
did this event the same year, which is Sister Sledge, The Tramps, and Evelyn King. I did
Nice.
that.
You all
I did,
can't see this, but we're pointing.
right. I'm putting out an old disco poster, and that was at the Riviera. That was at the Riviera, and the promoter for that was Steve Sharippa, the gangster guy on The Sopranos, who plays Bobby Bacala. He's my friend for years. So he was the promoter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was the
I know,
promoter.
I think-
And he was like, Frank, can we do this thing? I said, yeah, let's book the Tramps. And, you know, they already had Sister Sledge. And so they were going to do Sister Sledge, Tavares, and someone else. And when that didn't work out, I said, just do Sister Sledge. We'll get Evelyn King, because I worked with her since the
Evelyn King.
1980. I did
She's
Evelyn King.
awesome.
I did Evelyn King in 1980 at Jubilation with George Lester. Anyway, years later, we do this event. And that was the same month that I did the rave thing. And I thought the disco thing was going to be gigantic, and the disco thing was good. We did like 600, but I was expecting more. But the rave did amazing. So one of the promoters was cigarettes, Camel cigarettes.
Yeah,
And because
right?
they
Transatlantic
I
But
did
they
so
couldn't-
many tours that they sponsored.
Well,
I felt guilty, about it, but I was like, hey, I'm
We did
taking
a
your
bunch of
money.
KTV or whatever.
well, I got to tell you what the big thing was about
Walton
these
is
guys.
Paul.
Yeah.
They didn't want to let
They had a lot of money.
But they did something so extravagant on the mountains out there. They did this thing with lighting. I never saw it again.
Did
till-
you see the laser that went on the mountain?
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you about the laser, but until years later, I never saw this until Disneyland. But what they did was on the mountain, you saw the logo of the camel, and,
Yeah.
but you only saw it when you looked away. So you look at the mountain, you just see a laser light. But as soon as you look away, I'm like, I just saw the logo. And you're looking for it, you can't see it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you turn away, whap,
Yeah.
it was in your brain. So they paid for that whole thing. Anyway, Mike Skibo did this thing, and it was a huge success. And I remember they gave us the song. They said, you got to use this for the radio commercial. And it was, we are ready. Are you ready?
Are
So,
you
Are
ready?
you ready?
Yeah, are
That
you
was-
ready?
yeah, exactly. That was the song for the commercial, and I hired a girl with an English accent. Then I did the other voice, so the Brooklyn thing was in there. Anyway, the thing was a huge event. But the big thing about this story was there was a promoter. I had to go to San Diego. I think I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who can I get to? And there was the Funky Techno Tribe,
Yep.
and all these different groups. I had to go through LA to
Yep.
promote these flyers in these
Yep.
other states.
Yep.
Because I wanted to prove to this guy, look, it's going to be a big event. So we went to LA, we went to San Diego. Anyway, one of the flyer guys was a guy named Pasquale. He was one of the flyer guys.
He's also nitrous too.
Well, you know what he ended up doing, right?
Yeah, of course.
He's the EDC
Yeah,
man. So sure enough, we start
We
talking.
know Pascal.
Years later, we're talking to Pasquale, and I tell him I got this idea for the Indian Nation. You can do your events, not the big ones like EDC, but the small one like Emerald Forest and
There
stuff.
are only about 20,000 people.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I got a better story.
Well, hold on. So I ended up telling him you can do the Indians. You don't have to pay for the police.
Yeah,
They
right.
got this and that.
Yeah.
I turned them on to the whole thing. I heard that he meets with them now.
Yeah.
But I'm the one who hooked them up with these Indians. He comped the Indians to go to EDC. We're all sitting together. The thing is going great. He was impressed because he said, you were part of Desert Move? I was like, yeah, I showed him the posters. And he was very impressed. Anyway, he has the Indians go there. We're going to do these things with the Indians. I'm happy. This is one of a million stories that I was getting involved in that never happened. You know how that goes.
Yeah, right.
Throw shit at the wall a million times, maybe one thing happens.
Yeah.
This was one of them. So anyway, the Indians are loving it. They're going, you know what? We can do this thing. We're going to do it. They're talking
Yeah.
about how they're going to be able to do it. The next day, the Indians call me and say, people die at these events? I said, there's 500,000 people. Well, yeah, when there's 500,000 people riding the subway all day, there's 3 heart attacks, 1 stabbing, whatever. That shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, they were like, we can't do that.
It's a number.
The council, the numbers say,
Oh, you're talking about Native
talking to half
Americans.
a million
Yeah.
people. Like half a million people.
Are you?
So
Yeah.
anyway, the outcome of the story was the Indians turned it down, and I was stupid enough to tell Pasquale I should have waited 3 days. I said, listen, they said someone died. That's all I got to know. I got millions of people who want to do events. I don't do that. He didn't want to talk to them at all.
No.
3 days later, the Indians called. You know, the council talked about it, and they think it's too late now. I already said that you were negative on it, and that's it. So that's that story. But it's funny that he was a promoter, and then he became the guy, but he didn't
Yeah.
see
No,
it.
but the thing is, you were the one that talked to me first.
To look for promoters.
Yeah, to do the NASCAR. You were talking to me first, and I told Reza, I already had a contract at the Del Mar racetrack. So I was already set. I didn't want to do that. So I told Reza about it, and Reza goes, I'm at the LA Coliseum. And Pascal had tried to do a party in Palm Springs, where I'm from, at the polo field, where they're doing Coachella now.
Oh, wow.
And he did Nocturnal Wonderland. It was a failure that first time because it was too windy. This is way before Coachella even started. And we told him about doing the NASCAR thing because none of us could do it. And now look at where he's at.
Exactly.
He's fucking 47 million or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking. I mean, I kick Reza in the head every time. I said, dude, we were dumbasses.
Yeah.
We should have done that.
Yeah, well, I can't be sorry for Reza. Reza made his few million.
No, I know.
He's all right.
No, I'm just saying. I did all right.
Best
doing
ever-
this. I did all right.
But all that stuff turned to Vegas, is all I'm saying. At one time, Vegas was shut down on house.
Oh, I know.
Program directors, radio station, don't play it. Clubs didn't want to hear nothing about it. Then all of a sudden, now this is the house maker of the world.
Right?
You
I know.
And the unfortunate part about it is once you get the big house guys, you all know the story about Cascade.
Yeah.
Cascade gets hired and they tell them, yo, don't play any house music. It's like, what? They make them
I know,
play
right?
garbage. But I told them all, just shut up and take the money.
Right.
And go to a
Right.
user and do what you do.
Right.
Stay
Right.
there and take the money, you know?
Right.
Because I even said that to Oscar G.
Yeah.
Oscar G worked with me at studio.
I love Oscar.
And we let Oscar do everything he did in New
I
York.
like Ralph Falcon a little bit more, though.
And also Robbie Rivera and
Yeah, yeah.
everybody. But
With
when
the Merc
Razor
boys.
and Guido and Merc, somebody you mentioned before, Louis Vega.
Yeah.
So I worked with those guys when it came to
Somebody
Chateau.
like Louis Vegas
Yeah.
copy.
Somebody
higher
he's got a
tier than all
kid.
these guys.
Exactly. When I
I
booked
know.
we booked Louis at a place, and Louis said, "What can I expect?" I said, "Louis, take the money.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be what you expect." And he wasn't half listening to me. And then I told him, "Listen, I know Mr. Freeze. I know you're friends with him." He started listening to me. And then I told him, "Look, when you did the remix of, you did a house version, but you used the bass line from Tanner Gardner."
Yeah.
And I said, "Tanner Gardner breaks in 12." And I saw the way you made it break in 32. And then all of a sudden he was like, "Yeah." I said, "You took the first 4 beats, which is great. Everybody else goes at the end, and you can tell
He's
it's
breaking it
re-edited.
down.
You can tell you re-edited, but you took the first 4." So now he's listening to me. He goes, "Yeah." Now we became tight. And he was like, "So what do I play?" I said, "Play bullshit, pop shit. It ain't gonna work. They're gonna pull you up after an hour and put the guy back on."
Yeah.
I said, "Just take the check, cash it."
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah,
like,
right.
like that?
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He went, "Okay."
Unfortunately.
But the point is that a lot of those house DJs know Vegas isn't, they want the big names so they can show the executives we got the big names. They don't want them to do what they do.
That's right.
So Oscar G came to me and he used to work with us at studio.
Mhm.
And when he was at Chateau, he was like, "Yo, am I gonna be able to
he's a
play?"
great DJ.
I said, "You're not gonna be able to play that." And he went, "Oh, come on." He showed me his, list of all these cornballs remixes. He goes, "How about this pop? I got the power. Snap. I got the power remix." I went, "Yeah."
Yeah, that'll
And
work.
he looked at me and he went, "Really?" I went, "What?" He went, "All right." And so anyway, he was the only one who conformed.
Right.
And once he conformed, Stevie, the owner, said to me, "Hey, see if he wants residency." So I said, "Oscar, they want to know if you want to residency."
Why would he take that?
Because they
He was
love
huge
it.
in
I said,
Miami.
"They love what you're doing." He went, "Nah, this ain't me. You're not."
Yeah, right. Dude, he's real. He's
But
not
I
sorry.
respected him. I respected him for staying clean to
No,
the money.
he's awesome.
Everybody else just does it for the money, but both ways works for me. You want to be the artist, I respect you for being an artist. You're doing it for the money, I got you there too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but he already had his stuff in Miami, like super.
Oh, and he's
solid.
still big.
Yeah, he's huge.
And New York. Wow.
This is what I wanted. I just wanted a nice discussion.
You just want to be in Rory talking over everybody.
Well, basically, yeah, that's what kind of happens anyway. But and Harry's just sitting back in the cut. And I'm enjoying this conversation.
There's still stuff going on here on Run. Because you gotta be.
Well, that Hakkasan group, they've kind of
No,
monopolized
Not
everything,
that. I
haven't they?
think real shit.
Really?
I think real shit.
Well, let me tell it.
No,
Let's
I mean-
talk about some real stuff. I got a little bit of money. Let's do a show.
Real shit. I'm not talking about none of this cornball bullshit. I'm talking about real house.
Oh, real house.
You just
Know nothing about that subject.
I'm not saying you don't. What I'm saying, it's here. You just have to find it. You have to know where to go. You have to know where to be and who to hang with. And you're gonna get it. You're gonna. I mean, that's. I hate when people think that we don't have that in this town.
Well,
But that's what I mean. I started.
Let me tell you, it was hard to break it in this town. This town was hard.
You think it was easy starting the first house label? Oh, it was not.
No, it wasn't.
But when you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it.
And doing it and doing it and doing it.
And cats start to respect that sound of what that you're not going to sell out in your cornball. And you know, that was always been my goal, was to put to represent the Vegas Underground and say, this is real. This is what I don't give a damn. Kiss my ass. It's gonna
Not
be,
everyone understands house music.
Well, most of it, not everyone's play it.
It's a
But
solo.
what that
The
did,
body thing.
but what that did is it forced for a lot of the for me, it forced me to have to play out of town because I gotta get paid. So I did
Yeah, right.
Right?
That's what he's saying.
You know,
He's saying you gotta come to Vegas to get paid.
well, not if you're a real house guy, you know.
No, I did.
Yeah,
Just
you
saying.
gotta
Right?
go up.
Yeah.
Because
If you're a real house guy, you can't get
paid.
Vegas.
Yeah, you can't get paid
Unless you conform.
Yeah, and I won't do that. So, but you know what? That's okay because I play Chicago 7-8 times a damn year, and that's
The birthland.
That's good enough for me. That and you get a couple of Kansas City gigs, you get a couple. I mean, I'm playing. Thank God that the COVID has stopped. I'm playing Nashville and Knoxville and
Oh, nice.
Memphis with Farina. Me and Mark playing a couple gigs, and it's there, man. It's just got to stay true to it. For me, I have no kids, so I don't give a fuck. I got a cat that shits in the box. And I don't even have to clean that up. So that's giving me the luxury of having that, $250,000 in studio equipment and putting out records because I got no kids.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And like me and my partner Roy Evans, we do our little show. We beat it up. We do a dual set, but we keep it real, man. We keep it what we consider real. I'll put it like
Oh, I get it.
But I'm like you. I don't necessarily
But
knock
Frankie's
somebody.
still
I don't
about, hey,
knock
you want to keep the
somebody.
big
Right,
picture.
right. For doing it the other way.
Yeah.
I get it, but you choose
But
to
I
be
gotta
real.
choose
I
my-
get it.
yeah, you know
I
what
get
I mean.
it. And like I said, I respect both ways.
Yeah,
For different reasons. I just want to mention that Rory was the first one who probably put house on the map in Vegas, hands down. When he joined our crew, and he was playing, this guy cuts and scratches and does everything we were doing. He knows this hip hop, he knows soul, he knows everything.
Right.
But he was like, yo, check this out. As a matter of fact, I got a Straff record up there that Rory gave me because it's on 3 different labels. Set It Off. And that was 1984.
Yeah.
And we played it. We were loving it. Everybody loved it.
I played it last week. What are you
It's
talking
great.
about?
But like Rory was like, this is great. It works in what you're playing. It's cool, but it's house music. And we're like, how much more stuff is like that? And then he was showing us everything, everything else that was like that. But Rory's one of them who stayed true to his art of house. He played everything else for work. He played everything. He did the radio. So he knew it. He knew it all. But he never turned away from house.
Where is Rory from?
Chicago. Okay. Well, there you go.
Hey,
answer
there's
right
some- there's some black DJs in Chicago too now. Don't get it twisted. There's some black DJs in Chicago now. They're all out there.
Yeah, but now.
Yeah.
Not back then. You couldn't get on if you were whack. See, that's the thing that I missed the most. Back then,
With the vinyl.
you had to be
Right.
on the top of
Yeah.
your game.
Well,
Or you didn't
nowadays,
get
somebody
shot.
gives you a whole,
There's no
they give you a whole, hard drive of music, and you got your mixed points on the record.
There's no skin in it.
There's no skill.
There's no skin. Before you had to come up with some cash to get
buy
the 1200
shit. That's right.
a mixer.
That's right.
And so now you can do it. Listen, and I'm up front. I'm sponsored by Native, so I got all time. I got everything, right? And I will play track numbers like the best. No one's business. I started on vinyl. I had to come up with $4 or $5 grand to get started, right? So I took it real damn serious.
And then you need 2 copies of shit because the
Two
intro
copies
is
of
messed
shit,
up.
yeah.
You got to put in the intro, and
That's why you get a record store.
And now you got cats that come out and get out for like $300.
Right.
So what's their motivation?
Yo,
Jesse put
You know what I mean?
I know. I had to hire DJs. One girl came to my house and I wanted a chill out DJ, and she was real good for chill out. And I said to her, "What would you do if I covered the screen with the album cover? I covered it." And I was just joking, and she said, "There's nothing you can do." I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You don't know where the first beat is, an upbeat, a downbeat." I'm like,
Oh
"What?"
Lord, have mercy.
She had no idea if the computer wasn't there. Not a
Oh
slight
my God.
concept.
you know what's amazing?
I'm
So,
about to
you
go
see
to
this
college.
record collection behind me?
Yeah, that's a great
So,
record.
nowhere near
it's a
on
great
that.
record
I
collection.
got
But
rid of
Rory,
half of it when I moved to this
I was telling Frankie about your warehouse. He
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
anything
about it.
about that.
I didn't know about the warehouse.
Well, over the years, man, I made our shows that I have acquired probably from maybe like 69, 70. When I was basically just a dollar around, I was 45. Me involved in the record like 1978, 1979, I got to acquire a lot of records. And of course, once the whole record system came in, that was a whole nother baby because now I'm getting quantity. It's not just, one copy.
40 of the same record.
I always had two bins because, again, I could never play a record the same way that it was actually made because, again, when you first got a record, every DJ knows it's your job to master the record. You get to know the intros, you get to know the breaks. You got instrumental, you got an acapella, you know how to get in, get out of the record. So one copy just wasn't going to do it. You can kind of get away with that now with a Serato or, something, whatever you using. But back in the day, you had to have two copies. If you knew what you were doing and you cared enough about what you were doing, to try to at least give yourself some kind of creative, originality, man, some individuality of who you were and who you stood for. So that's really all it was about for me, man. So it wasn't too many times that you were going to find me not having at least two copies of a record.
Remember how we would lean over? Remember how we would lean over? We would lean over the record.
I just happened to, I was also a guy that liked to buy records too. So I could go to a store and I might find a great, copy of a record. I just buy it just to buy it. I might not ever played it, but I just bought it because it was just a good deal.
Remember how we would lean over the tables so people couldn't see the labels and stuff? Because when you had your copy, you didn't want anybody else to see it. And you black them out.
Yeah. You guys that, did be trying to see what you had,
I just write new songs. I just take it out, make my own.
Back in the day, we used to do it with acetates,
And like you said, but play with the right. Make people dance. Play the 10th part. And you just, you have to do that as a DJ. So I just want to piggyback on that. Give me three.
Y'all, this has been wonderful. I have one last thing that I kind of want to talk about, and that's where we left off before this pandemic. So, where we left off where things were in Vegas, where the monster that Frankie and John and everybody else created, which is known as the Mega Club, with $5,000 tables and $50 drinks and $150 to get in. Thank God that's gone. So I did a story for EDM.com, right? A little while ago, where they asked me, where will things pick up, once all we get back to this thing? And I said, the only thing that I can even imagine will happen is that real music will come back again. Yeah. Real DJs will be DJs again. And everybody who's faking will have to do exactly what we were just talking about, Bruno. It's going to cost you now to get in the game and be that person, which is where it should have never left in the first place. We should have always been there. It should always be a bar. You should always pay your dues to get in. You shouldn't be able to just jump in and all of a sudden, oh, I just sold 1 million downloads and I'm getting paid $100,000 a show. It's like, come on. And it's like, we get people to talk about, oh, you all are just mad because, this new generation get that and you all didn't get it. Like, I'm good. I don't care about that. What I do care about is quality. Mm-hmm. This thing started in a place from quality, from people with inspiration, with originality. I mean, like we were just talking about, you blacked out your records, you covered them up because you didn't want the next person to have what you had. You wanted to have something special. So when you walked in there, people were paying for your performance. They were going to get you and only you. Someone else wouldn't be able to duplicate that. Shoot, now all you got to do is hit a sync button and pretty much duplicate any mix you got out there. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. All I'm saying, you can believe me, I can go on. I don't know if you saw my latest interview. I go off about that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that where I see this game is actually starting back in the beginning.
Oh, let's hope.
And let's building this our thing, our house thing. This is our thing. You know what I'm saying? And we need to keep control of where we go and how we make this thing happen. It's one of the things that I love, and it's not because I'm on the show, but I love our Ultimate House Party on Power 88. Because you got Mel Star. Come on, man. Mel Star. Dude, do y'all know who Mel Star is?
No.
Y'all don't even know who Mel Star is. Tell them who Mel Star is.
Hey, Mel Star is actually Houdini's, rest in peace, man, to our boy Ecstasy, but he was official tour DJ for you know, the Houdini cast. That was one, man.
Grandmaster D, I thought.
Tour DJ.
Oh, the tour DJ.
He was actually one of the you know, original contestants for the Master of the Mix reality show. He's done a lot of stuff.
Now come on, man. We got DJ Rory McAllister. Come on. What Breaky, you said it yourself. What would Vegas be if Rory hadn't come here in terms of house?
Well, we definitely, house wouldn't have happened as quick as it did, and not as strong as it did if it wasn't for Rory. That's true. And it's not only the music.
And you know, the beauty of that whole thing too, man, was that I had at least enough insight to archive a lot of my original masters. So
Lucky you.
At any given point in time, and I usually position them between midnight and the 1 a.m. slots where I'll actually throw you back and put you in the time machine where you would hear the original shows from 1984, 1985,
That's awesome.
1986.
Oh, man.
I basically re-imaged them. Because those original shows were 30-minute segments. We image them that I obviously you know, fill up the time slot. So in essence, you would hear like maybe a collective of 2 or 3 shows merged into one show. But it takes you back, man, and actually hearing the original music. Like when Jesse released It's Okay, I actually took the
I was just about to say that.
I launched it over weekend. You know, back in the day. So he actually did the re-release remixes of the new version, and I went back and threw everybody back to the original show date that I actually broke the record in Vegas.
Yo, I called Rory at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was driving in the dark down PCH. I love my California. But anyway, so I'm driving down, and one of his mixes come on, and I started hearing some of this old. I'm like, man, I haven't heard. It was my track too. I haven't heard that in like 30 years. And then he like started doing this whole thing, and I was like, whoa, this is. I haven't heard anything like this since back then.
Right.
You know, and it just took me. It's not even that it took me back.
That's
it just
the real.
brought me to a place where I was
Real.
just like, now I remember why I did all this.
Right?
You know, what was the inspiration? Because it was all right there in that mix.
Well, that's when you really felt the music.
So cool.
Yeah, when Rory joined the crew, this is no joke. When Rory joined the crew, I promise you, we knew a lot of DJs coming out from New York, California, tons of DJs. To get in that crew, you better have been good. You know, there's me, there's Rob, there was Hypo, and Rory came in, and immediately he wanted to show off and let you know right away, I know what you guys know, and I can do what you do. And he came to the house to prove it. And then the first Magic Mix he did all his edits at the beginning, and everybody called up the phone.
You gotta
Who's
be
this guy?
badasses.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy? This is the new guy. This is Rory. This is Rory Mack. He's from Chicago. And that was in his first mix. Do you remember what you did on the first mix? You overlaid like 3 things. You had the beat going. Yeah, I don't know if you remember what you did the first mix, but I was like, wow.
Crazy thing was that first mix that I actually had premiered at the Magic Mix, I had liquid in the cabin. This was actually White Line.
Right, which they turned white lines into. They stole it from this liquid.
We used to play the B side of that with the top.
Yeah.
Well, he did all crazy stuff, and it worked out, went over well, so we knew he was great. That's it.
Right. And then, of course, we got my main man, DJ Harry A, Chicago's finest. Tell him why you're Chicago's finest.
I don't know how that came up, but I'm honored. I just play the music. All I do, you know, I do basically piece of soul like you guys. You know, sometimes I'll go deep in the disco, and then sometimes I'll do the underground stuff, the new stuff. But I just believe in soul, and I think that's what's missing in a lot of today's music.
Amen.
100%.
Again, I have to commend everybody on here just for keeping real music alive. And I think, you know, that's our job as DJs. I myself, I'm very particular, and I just believe in moving and making people dance and feel good. And I think that's, you know, what all DJs should be about. And I'm just honored, you know. I'm just emulating what I've learned from, you know, my teachers, you know, Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy, and Mike Livingston. You know, those were my teachers. So I'm just emulating the sound still to today in 2021. That's it.
You know, Harry, that was so great what you said, and thanks for the props, because I think there's so much importance in that, because, you know, when I'm cleaning the house and stuff, I put on the music choice station, and I say, let me listen what's new in EDM, and let me listen what's new in this. So I had the EDM station on for about 3 hours the other day. It was terrible, and I'm not joking. The music was all low tempo, and it sounded like everybody who made a song was like, what's happening? This is the tempo? Let's do it, you know, 93 beats a minute. What's going on with the sound? Though everybody's using that sound, we're going to use that sound. You can tell that it was calculated to make money from it, to sell it and hope it goes pop. There was maybe 3 good songs. I Shazammed one. In 3 hours, I Shazammed one, and it was okay. The rest of them was so bad, I was like, I don't even care what my phone is, because I wasn't going to Shazam anything, because it had no soul. It didn't seem like it was organically made for somebody musically oriented to do something that sounded great and everybody would gravitate to. It sounded like they tuned into the corporate side of it, the business of it, what's happening, what's the tempo right, and it was bland and garbage. So I'm so glad you said that.
I will, hold on. I got to interject here for a second. You and I talked about this, Frankie. So, we old.
Right? You're like halftime, baby, halftime.
I mean, you know, we've been around for a while. We're not old in spirit, and we're definitely not old in the music and the whole nine yards. But I say that because think about when you were a kid and the music, even house music, you know, and disco we were playing back in the day, and your parents thought that was crap. Like, that's shit. And you're like, oh, mom, dad, you're old, you know. And sometimes I think it's like, are we old now like that? Or do we really have good
places?
taste?
You can't listen to those Cox TV, whatever.
Right.
You just listen to the wrong place.
Oh, well, it was all, you know, the pop stuff that they
There's some
played.
good music out there. You just got to dig. It's like
Well, like
music.
I even said, that wasn't, oh, I know, I'm not saying that was the right stuff, but everything they
I'll
played
hook you up.
that I heard was
I'll hook
all,
you up.
well, you can tell it was all
Hey,
made
I'm
for-
still gigging, baby. I'm kind of
He's gonna give you a flash drive.
No, hey,
Hold on.
That's the medium today.
I
I
take it, hold on, you all. I take it Kenny just made a comment in here, and from Vegas, right? So he asked the question, when are you guys going to put a day party together for people over 50 who love music but cannot stay up past midnight?
Pool party.
Hey, there's a party every Sunday.
Tell them about it.
18 months, man, every Sunday. 10 to 6.
Where is this?
Right.
18 10, right down.
Our district.
Our district. It's popping,
Oh, okay.
dude. Popping. Mikey Town. I'll tell you what. Soleil, San Diego Soleil, Institution, Mikey Town, Chris Herrera, Allah. We're going to be doing Soleil Worldwide. It's going to be there on in September. There's always something down there. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
All the time?
Yeah, first Friday
Before,
starts.
yeah, but that was a different.
But I mean, that's coming real house music, man.
That
Like
was a whole
real
different
house music.
thing.
Y'all can't get tripping on the medium. The medium changes. It's not about the medium or what the device you're using. It's about what are you bringing extra to the table.
It's all about house music.
No, listen to it. Don't listen to it. Listen to it from the chin. It's about what you choose to do with it. You can discount what someone's doing. Yeah, you know what? I play track. I got 15,000 pieces of vinyl too. I can get down like that too. But you don't know maybe what's going on. I'm on the fire remix, 4 decks. That's if you're doing something different with the technology's not bad. You just have to take it and expand upon it and do something and move the ball down the field. You can't get stuck in a rut and be like, oh my God, I hate this new stuff. I hate the new technology. Screw that. Have you played on 3000 yet?
Oh yeah, there's
Okay, so what's the difference in that and a computer? It's the same thing. It's about, but the DJs, young cats, want to just go A to B. Fuck A to B.
I never went A to B. I had a
You had to go A to B.
I was sitting here
You
counting
had to
beats
go A
per
to B if you're
minute.
playing final. I'm talking beat jumping, forward decks. I'm talking moving the ball forward.
Well, this guy's a master right here, Frankie.
Okay, you know this. I'm talking digital forward decks on the fly remixing, man. The technology will allow you to do more. It'll allow you to do more if you choose to open up to it. You just got to choose to open up to it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
There's one other guy here that I want to talk about before we get out of here. DJ Carlos Sanchez.
Oh, the man, the best mixer in town. Nobody mixes smoother than Los.
The best?
Period. Hands down.
Really?
Period.
Really?
Period. He's the smoothest mixer.
I'm listening to his stuff.
That dude is the smoothest mixer and he is.
Okay.
He is.
Well, I gotta hire him now.
He.
You all say goodbye to Adrian. She has to go.
Bye, Adrian.
I'm here.
Bye, nice to meet you all. See you again.
Carlos is. He does. Matter of fact, he's hosting our party for our anniversary party. Down at the usual place, and she's.
That's what I want to talk about.
So it sounds
When we
like
talk
you need to
current,
do a new
hold
show.
on. When we talk current, there's one place that has been going on throughout this COVID pandemic. It's kind of keeping the spirit alive, and that's been Carlos Sanchez's place, the other place.
The usual place.
Oh, excuse me, the usual place.
That's right.
Usual suspect, usual place.
That's his baby, man.
Yeah,
What night is
it's an amazing place. They started out keeping the walls like really small to avoid to the COVID things, and then all of a sudden you see those walls get bigger and bigger.
So we go in there
Now
tonight?
that place is like huge. The vibe is great, and you are definitely, when you come to Vegas, you have to check it out because you can hear some real house music. DJ Harry A, you're playing over there.
Again, honored that Carl asked me to be there to start a monthly gift tournament every third Saturday of the month. Next one we'll do will be on the 22nd, and it's called Love Sensation. And again, I'm just giving the real disco deep house sound that we all came up on, 80s to 70s, and the rawness of the party back then that I've experienced. I like that rawness. I like the soul. I like the eroticism. I don't need to say that. I like the grittiness. And the clubs need that these days, I think. If you really want a part, because Vegas is more visual. I'm all about the sound. So if you guys, I would love to have you guys come down on the 22nd. And again, that's every third Saturday of the month.
Make sure you get that plug in. Make sure
On the 22nd?
Check this out.
That it?
I want everybody
Be there.
to give a shout out to their favorite DJs in town that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. We want to get in some names here. So everybody, just be my guest.
Roy Evans and Tony Comfort Jones.
Well, I'm the one, Carlos Sanchez. I've been listening to his mixes on Mixcloud. He checks me out. I check him out. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to hearing him live soon.
He's deep too.
Yeah.
Yes, good knowledge.
We've been talking.
Yes.
All right. Who else?
I can't deny. I mean, my two favorites are Rob and Frankie, period.
Thank you.
Okay, come on.
Saying.
There's like a million DJs in Vegas. Come on.
I know, but those two are my favorites.
But let's give some other ones.
Definitely,
Give them for other people.
Definitely the homie Jesse, the homie Rory. I like Edgar Reyes, Carlos Sanchez, Roy Evans, Aaron Black, what's Aaron Black,
Irish.
Black Irish. Aaron Black Irish, actually, he opened up for Derek Carter at Club Soda.
No, he
Really?
opened up for Roy.
For Roy,
Get his straight.
but for Derek Carter's night at Club Soda. And yo, I was very impressed. Very impressed with
Nice.
this guy. He took me back to like the deep underground New York, soulful like DJs from back in
The
the
Paradise Garage.
days. Not even the garage, but
Who else do we like?
house days.
Who else do we
You know what I'm
like?
saying? And
Keep
then
those
there's
names
a
coming.
bunch of. Then when I first came here, as far as classics and soul DJs, which made me know that okay, I can make this my home. The party, the Get Back.
Oh,
The
yeah.
last few years of the Get Back, that whole team, I can't think of all their names, but if you remember the Get Back, all those guys that played the Get Back classics, funk, soul, Afro-Cuban jazz, old school hip hop, all vinyl. Friday once a month. Ridiculous.
We were doing them at Taboo. They were doing Taboo on
Okay.
Slide.
What
Slide
about
Sundays.
Jose Two Lights?
Okay.
Oh, we love Jose.
Okay.
DJ Cheese. Let me tell you about DJ Cheese. He's 22 years old.
Never heard of him.
Of course, you don't go out, probably. You old. I mean, damn, you old. I'm talking about DJ Cheese. He's 20.
Let's write it down.
He's 22 years old. He's
Gotta hire that
got the
kid.
right attitude. Like he is all about soaking it in, listening to the. Oh, I'm dead now. It's all about getting all the getting knowledge from all the old elder statesmen. Good cat, man. Good youngster. Love this kid. This kid is the real deal.
DJ Cheese.
Real deal.
There was an old DJ Cheese years ago on the Profile Records.
This guy's good, man. You'll dig him.
You know who I like? Ridiculous Records owner, Tommy Ballman. That's my boy, Tommy B. Who else we got?
You know, there's a guy out of New York, Tommy Nappy. He's been in the business since 1975, and he's still doing it. He works for the record labels. He worked for Madonna. This guy is still doing house. He still calls us up for remixes every so often because he works for Warner Brothers. But I got to give this guy credit. Eats shit, lives and breathes music, and that's all he does. And he can still mix his ass off, clean as hell. He's as old as us, perpetrating with his Converse sneakers and his hair, and he dances around. I can't believe he's doing that now after 50 years, but it's working and he's still getting gigs.
Wait a minute. We forgot somebody. We forgot somebody. Mohawk. Michael Toast.
Mike Toast.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still around.
Mike Toast is still there. He's still in town. He was doing the Golden Ticket for a while. You know, maybe a year right before COVID, so I don't know.
Hey, if you guys want to check out, you guys are all heroes. If you want to check out the coolest night in town, look, because listen, vinyl for me is like a relationship that I broke with amicably. I'm good to have lunch with her, but I ain't looking to get back with her. You know what I mean?
It takes 3 months. to
Yeah,
get
I know.
over.
I just ain't looking to get back with her. Go check out Monday night at 18 Ben. My man's Skyler. This
That's
fool.
tomorrow night.
This,
go.
this,
Let's go.
Let me finish. This is 45s only. You want to whip your dick out? Whip your dick out, big stuff. Let's see what you got, because that's a whole other kettle of fish right there. Oh,
Let's go check it out.
That's what it means he's playing turntable.
It's the coolest
Judge my
night.
Well, we just need her.
I still
Like
get
seriously,
turntable.
man,
Where is it?
it's 18
Jonathan
minutes.
Peters.
I mean, let me tell you, it is just a cool fucking vibe.
Okay, so let's go on the other side. Let's go on the other side.
Really?
Let's go on the other side. Away from traditional house. Let's go over to Tech House side. What do we think of Soul State?
I don't know those kids.
You don't know them? Justin? They put on an amazing event. But they put on amazing
I like
events.
Soul State. I caught them at like a New Year's after party at this place called Freshwater, like probably 3 years ago. And then they had a night. There was a birthday party for the owner of Circus Soleil at Light.
Oh,
The
man.
year before last.
They're doing things on
And they fucking were the backdrop DJ and the whole visual thing.
The altar, the video.
They're definitely doing things.
I got to shout out
Amazing.
newcomer, my girl from Russia, DJ Anaya.
Yes.
Shout out because she does a Thursday night over at the other place. That's a
Usual place, Thursday night.
Why do I keep wanting to say the other place? It's the usual place, yo. I'm sorry.
I love DJ Anya.
You know I love my boy Carmen.
Love
Then I got to give my shout out to my boy Rob Alon and Doug.
The fellas. I just call them the fellas.
Yeah, so I got to get some love too. So, you know, there's a lot of great DJs in Las Vegas. Yeah, Kaika, of course. And Lenny.
Low down Lenny.
So yeah, there's a lot of great DJs out here, and it's amazing. I mean, we're going on 2 hours in. Covered a lot of ground, but we can still do a part 3. You know, that's how Vegas is. There's so much going on here to unpack it all. It takes
It's about to be a lot more, I think.
coming up. But once again, thank you to all my panelists, DJ Harry A, remote from Chicago, DJ Rory McAllister, remote from Arizona, Jonathan Infectious to my left, he's right here with me, Tony Soul State down at the end, Adrian Hester had to get out of here, and she's gone. We got Bruno Browning, Soul Supplement, of course, we're live from Reiki's house. Thank you. I appreciate you all, and we will see you maybe next week if I decide to do another show. But you know that you will see me within the next couple of weeks. Once again, thank you for tuning in. It's always wonderful, and peace.
Hey, throw me that promo, man. What's up? What's that contact promo? How do I get that contact promo list? I don't go to church now. I know Jay Spears is big in that church.
I gotta get Harry's number also.
I know Spears big in that church.
Harry's from New York also? Oh, he's from Chicago. It's the same shit, basically.
Oh, no.
Well, let me tell you something. When I went to Chicago, Chicago looked like a clean New York. And outside of saying 3 or 4 words, shit, 3 or 4 words.
Fucking
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah, like I'll stab you in the heart. Where's the cat?
Stab you in the heart.
Outside of 2 or 3 fucking words, it was the exact same thing as New York. The food, the structure, only it was clean. And I was like,
Except the deep dish pizza, obviously.
all right, so the deep dish.
Yeah,
I
Chicago
went
pizza's
there 3
better.
times because I was cooking at Jenny Jones show.
Frankie,
Chicago pizza's better, man.
I don't know about that.
I like them both. No, I like them both. They're totally
Chicago,
different though. Chicago to me is like a pie. When they use the word pie,
Yeah,
that shit is stuffed
Yeah.
and it's a whole
Y'all got
different
that
thing.
water. Y'all got that water.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That water. You got
That's Chicago
that
treatment.
That's what makes the bagels
Oh,
and the pizza.
fuck, yeah, absolutely. You know that these Guidos came up with a machine that makes with water? Swear to God, it was on TV. Guidos, and they got fucked out of it because they're not smart.
Yeah.
We got an idea. We want to make New York water. They went to a fucking expert. The guy figured it out. He said the molecules here, this got to be pressed. This got to be a certain elevation. I could do it with this machine, and they connected it, and the fucking thing came out exactly the same. So what happened is the guy who designed it stole the patent, and they were like, "What are you talking about? You stole it. We came to you." They said, "We're still going to cut you in 10%." They go, 10%. This is on TV. That show. And the guys, "Well, we paid for it." They said, "You paid for the technology, and that's how we learned it. And that's why you cut it 10%." But they took the whole. They did it. Something fucking would happen to me.
Yeah,
That's shit would happen to me. But anyway, these guys made New York water, and they show you. They take the regular where the water main is. They connect the machine. It's about the size of a dishwasher, and it makes the fucking water come in.
That's what makes that
And he said, bagels, pizza, everything. They went right to the pizza shop.
That's what, yeah.
And these guys, like, again, they make me look like you. I was like, listen, we got an idea. And they're saying things like, what we're telling you is specific. We're telling you specific information. Specific. Not specific. Specific. This is specific information how we want this done. I'm listening on. But Harry, I need your number, man.
Harry said, go ahead, they can hear you.
Hey, everybody, I just want to say hello.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys too.
I hope to see you guys physically. I think you guys have done wonderful work. I just appreciate all the work you put in. Thank you.
Harry, I want your number and I'll give you mine as well. I'll call you right away so you can have my number. I'll call you and say this is DJ Frankie and you can put it in, man.
Hey, bring back some Portillo's.
If you got a pen.
I got it right now. Right now.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
702
702
785
785
2301.
01. Okay, I can give you my number or I can call you so you'll have it.
Call me. That
Okay, you got it.
my phone here.
You got it.
Yeah.
That was great.
And,
Good to
you know,
hear.
I don't know if Bruno can see me, but hey, Bruno.
Hey, buddy, when you get back, man, when you get back, when you get back home,
I'm in Chicago. I fly back tomorrow at midnight.
I'm gonna be up there in July. I'll be in Chicago in July. Me and T's gonna get some stuff in, man.
Yeah.
You know me and T Maxwell, niggas names, baby. Yeah, that's my sister from another right there. I call her my home mom for Mother's Day. I'll see you, man. Take care, man.
Take care, Bruno.
Oh, man, it was fun. It was fun. Franklin, man. It's great.
I know. I never been this. Oh my God, Joe! It looks so good. You know, I
I get paint everywhere, I think.
I was trying to get like a hot photo because you look so cute in your painting, but like you were in such a zone. I kept like I was getting like.
I was trying, this is like the first time I tried to do a painting this big. I'm like,
Oh, no shit. That's the most money I've ever.
yeah, I couldn't get the details of the inside. I was trying to make
I didn't expect you to get that many faces, to be honest.
It's cool. I like the style you did. It's a cool outfit.
I was gonna get that, but I said maybe not.
You should have it right in your own words. In the corner, you can write in your own words.
What's that?
If you write in your own words.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I did that colorful because the
Oh, exactly.
yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, she's
So
so
I was
perfect.
thinking, like, put it in there, the name of the book. You didn't even have to
I love that.
You can put it anywhere you want. You could just put it on the table. Like it's
Always
sitting on the table.
I was thinking.
Oh, I put
more than I should.
chapter 50
Oh, no,
of the book.
anybody in the scene.
More than I should.
Just kidding.
I was thinking,
Very nice. Thank
All
you.
that eating shit.
Wow, great too.
Rendition of the back of my head.
That's the first time she's ever done it. Like,
Did you take a picture of it?
Oh, yeah. I got your number.
Send me a text. That's how the whole issue with the phone.
Well, I'm doing it for that reason. Just go get a text and
I was like,
say,
man, I can't get 20's face. He keeps moving. I can't get it.
now you got the baby's head.
The back of my head.
She takes up the whole table.
Basically.
It looks like I'm playing with myself under the door.
All you gotta put is just put a super
You didn't
bad
make it.
that has two guys for the super and then it's good.
Oh my God, you guys cracked me up.
So are you going out on Lake Mead tomorrow?
yeah, it was good. We just.
I'm sorry. I got this live thing, so you guys can say hi if you want.
Yeah, we talked about this.
You call?
That's okay. It's everybody's like my friend.
Yeah, the camera on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta get back.
This is live.
He likes being on camera.
Oh.
Hello, picture first.
Oh yeah, you were in. Yeah, you should introduce yourself.
But if we go later,
Hi, Jonathan in
then I want
Texas,
time, but-
San Diego, and Vegas.
Right. Also, I was.
Tour manager for Jesse.
They sent me a $20 credit.
You can see when they right in the bottom. They call me Poppy, so that's how they know.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to talk about the New York shit. So we got the time on that.
Thank you, Jim. Chicago House fan from 1985. So Jim, he knows Jesse.
Okay.
So he lives in Chicago and he has his little channel here in Haps.
Nice.
The hotel from the strip, it's about.
GM Sil. What was that, Jim? GM
Where I used to be.
SLL. Oh, WCRX.
Work.
I figured you won't, but you were talking.
Oh, Steve Silk Early?
He knows a lot about it.
Okay.
Delay, Frankie.
Yeah, the late Frankie Knuckles.
So one of my it's right on the
I was
end of the
just trying to
strip, right
decide
at the end of the strip, against the left side, and they own the whole center. But there's the bootleg restaurant that goes to the end of the Coastal Room. So I used to do that shit. And I talked to everybody. Yeah, it's right at the end of the strip.
Frankie,
Right at
take
the
your
end of the
phone.
last strip. As soon as you pass the Luxor, it's about.
Put the nombre aquí para yo. I'll share.
Oh,
I'll tag you on.
oh, okay, thank you.
But I didn't even see it like yesterday.
I gotta think now. It's right after Luxor, on the left-hand side. Might be after Town Square.
I'm gonna have to send you the luxury.
Okay, I will accept you. I don't know what's my phone.
Tarmac would be more like
I know, Jim. Oh. Hey, Jesse, you want to say hi to my friend?
Hi, friends.
Hi, friend.
Hi,
So
friends.
that's Jim, the one I told you that he knows you.
Hey, Jam, what's up? It is a spectacular painting. She's amazing. Look at that face.
What?
Look at that face. Isn't she amazing?
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Jim. Jim Sterling from.
Oh, CRX. Nice. Very nice.
So I'll show you the 3 things I'm working
Source,
on.
keep going.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, but your hair's you look like a guy there.
1985.
85 to 88. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can see
Nice to meet
his.
you.
I'm gonna show him your profile, Jim. So he has his channel. He does 3D in here.
Because I paid that.
I don't know. That's my background, but I'm in hospitality.
Great, yeah, we just finished.
That's
Because
it.
we're still talking. We just literally
Well,
finished.
what do you mean like that?
Sure.
I'll call you back.
So I'm major.
Yeah, he was interviewing me in half, and when I told him I was gonna come and say Jesse, and she's like, I know him.
Vegas Underground, the Pure Music Festival, host that. As in hospitality, I worked with the trade show industry of
You should get hops, Jesse.
last year.
Nobody. Check it out.
Yeah, so he does trivia, and then he's super nice. I don't know how to go back to where I was. So.
Yeah, I did follow me. Not yet, not with the company. Not with the company yet.
Level,
I have to set up the
But I want, if you guys are interested in check out my next class, you'll see, I got 7 weeks of school, 30 of them so far. And 30, I got all that shit, and I just made it during COVID. So check me out on this class.
You understand.
I just made it.
Yeah, he's just shouting out people from Chicago.
Oh, from Chicago.
It's cool. Nice to meet you.
And then mixed class, and you'll see.
Okay, guys, I'm probably gonna cut it off right now.
Oh, cool.
But thank you for being here. You guys take care. Have a great night, great morning, great afternoon, and see you later. Oh, let me show you the painting closer. You can't even tell on the computer.
And then it moves up to fantasy. And BB&Q.
In the computer, you can't. It's better in the phone.
Is it in Jimmy Bowen? It goes in all
But
that
see, when you do it in a computer, you're able to switch it around like this.
I just did that just for fun because I was like, I got that shit.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I would think because I believe in it. For sure, yeah.
You could have up to 8 people.
All that shit on
Oh, nice. It's pretty slow right now, but this is all the options that you have. Like, see now you're big there. So for you guys' show, you guys should do this. This is Caps.
Broadcast studio. I like it. I like it.
And mostly everybody that is in here in Habs, a lot of them they have business, they have talents, they're artists, they're digital order.
I'm gonna tell Pat to get on that.
I did see that.
And just follow me.
How long have you been on it?
I was like, I'll meet her.
Not too long since Periscope ended.
Oh, yeah.
When that motherfucker had this, it was smart to come up with a name. So
Oh, hi. Okay. Okay, I think it's time to change that my full time. Hola. No. Hola. Wait, like right now it's about
Right here.
Hi.
I know this thing is kind of slow. This is slow motion. Yeah, in the computer it's not. There's a painting.
Can you show that him house?
Yeah, it's.
Have you used a bunch of them and you like this one?
I do.
Yeah.
This is like a big family. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get any wheels.
Yeah.
Other.
Yeah.
So this is cool. Habs.
I was just getting ready to pull a
You're on there.
I was just getting ready to pull a trigger on a program. shopping around for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's, like I don't mind paying for one, but I think you get what you pay for usually. So I'm a little leery of ones that are like cheap or free or whatever. But if you pay a monthly thing on this, or you buy the program, but it's free.
It's free.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it's international and
Well, I want. It may have to be a couple apps, but I want to be able to basically broadcast live, like just from my phone. If I want to, or you can tie it into your computer.
That's why I'm saying this one looks really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
broadcast
yeah.
studio. Yeah.
like this is how it looks through the computer.
Yeah.
Like let's say you start with this and then you invite somebody in. Hey Jim, do you want to come up?
How much for the painting?
Huh?
Is this spoken for? How much for the painting?
I haven't talked to him about it. He kind of just told me
I
like,
buy
come
art all the
here.
time. He's like, I'll go with an event, something on the roof of my car.
See, this is the first time I do this, like this live. Like, I mean, I do live painting in here, but I usually have a picture. I have everything set up, like and it takes steps. Like, I work with it for a little bit, and then I come back.
Yeah,
This is like
live. Do you have some art online on the site?
Yeah.
Where's your art at?
I have it on Instagram. I mostly have it there, and I have Facebook for it too. But it's the same thing. Instagram.
Yeah, are you Instagram?
Yeah. It was nice.
Hey James, you want to come up so you can invite people up, and then let's see.
What are you on Instagram?
It's POPPIS87. That one. That was actually, the picture was Jesse's birthday.
Oh.
He let me exhibit my art the first time.
Are you here in town?
Oh yeah, I live
Yeah, we were at M last night. M Casino.
I hardly ever get out. I just moved here like a year ago.
Yeah, what's in Henderson?
Oh, okay.
Technically, it's just like 15 miles south of town.
Oh, okay. I seen the Yoker Casino and Fiesta.
Yeah.
The ones I seen.
Right, but Henderson's just a suburb, right? Yeah. People is not where you want to live. Or what?
I don't know. I just moved there with
It looks like it's all under construction today.
I seen a couple places where
They're doing a lot of building out there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they're
Right,
doing.
so you just came up from Mexico City?
No, that was a long time ago.
Long time, okay. Yeah.
That was like yesterday. That was when I was 15.
Okay. Yeah. Yesterday, huh?
Yeah, yesterday. That's how it feels like. And how the hell I got 2 girls?
Yeah, right.
If it was yesterday. It's crazy. I think I'm gonna cut off this one real quick.
No, so I may arrange to maybe get that from you and have it framed and have it sent out to John. Yeah, so he had a really good time. Yeah.
I will have to ask Jesse because I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it's spoken for. I was sort of saying I don't know if it's something that.
No,
Or I
you
can make
can't
it-
buy the painting. That's Jesse's painting. You got to get her to do another painting.
I didn't know if that's why it's.
Or I can make a print. I can make a print.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Hey guys, I'm gonna cut it. Make it sour. See you guys later. He's gonna be in Hubs, right? Are you gonna get Hubs? You going to get Hubs?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look.
You guys may see him later.
Yeah.
Well, make sure
And
you
I'm
get
the
her.
same. Yes, I will. I will add you. You got my Instagram.
Yeah, I've just got you on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm in the same name in here.
Yeah, I'm a Denver diplomat.
Denver?
Denver diplomat.
You come from Denver?
Yeah.
That's where. That's my second home.
That's your second home?
Yeah, I live in. Let me cut this. I live in Aurora.